You're in a good mood. You must be illegal alien lottery winners. Whoopee! How are you? Boy, what a nice reception. If you really love me, you'd push for a Johnny Carson commemorative stamp. Did you hear that? Apparently, the United States Post Office is going to issue a Laurel and Hardy commemorative stamp in their honor. Now, that's nice. It's about time. They deserve it. I think they'd really like that. They're also going to put out a Three Stooges stamp if they can get them to stop sorting mail long enough to do it. The post office. You're back. You were gone. Thank you. You were up as guest conducting in Phoenix?
Phoenix Symphony Orchestra, yes.
How'd it go?
Very good. It was great. It was an evening of music by George Gershwin.
Oh.
It was really terrific.
Sounds good. Okay. And what other George would it be by?
George Collins.
Collins, huh? George Frazee?
Yes.
You made it up. You know, George Collins. Anyway, good evening. How are you? I'm Johnny Carson, the only TV host not in Geneva. Have you seen it? Come on. They're going to overcover that thing. What?
There's 3,000.
Well, do we really need Willard Scott in Geneva? Enough already. Anyway, that's the big news, I guess, for the next 2 days. The summit meeting is getting a late. It's 3,000 journalists, a lot of television coverage. It was listed in TV Guide as the last days of our lives. Which I... A little too close to home, huh? Now, apparently, despite all the preparations by both sides, the interpreters had a difficult time. Talks hit a snag. You see, in Russia, there is no word in Russian for well. Hung out there for a long time. Anyway, so far, I'm sure most of you have been reading about it or following it on television. The two leaders did have a one-on-one meeting this morning, lasted for 2 hours. Or, as they say in Switzerland, 2 cuckoos. No, they spoke for... Now, Reagan and Gorbachev spoke for about 54 minutes today, and then Gorbachev finally said, look, I'd love to hear your story about the drive up the California coast, but I have an appointment. He's never going to finish that story, and apparently they took a long walk together. And they chatted by a fireside. Kind of nice. They're hitting it off. Announced that next week they're going to Club Med together. Apparently, they really hit it off when they both had something in common. The Visa card bills were run up by their wives. Anyway, people wondered how the president would do over there. Apparently, the president has been very persuasive. Apparently, Gorbachev came out of the meeting owning a 2-week timeshare in the president's ranch in California. Apparently, I don't know. Now, Gorbachev reportedly has a cold. Now, a cold in Russia is a serious thing. Apparently, Gorbachev sneezed near Reagan, and 3 Secret Service men wrestled his nose to the ground. Apparently, anyway, they both agreed to meet again next year. Now, that's a start. If nothing else happens, they're going to meet next year. And First Lady Nancy Reagan and Mrs. Gorbachev got together for their meeting, and they agreed to meet once a year in Bloomingdale's Better Sportswear. You're not obligated. Some sad news. Didn't we have Robert Blake just on last week? NBC canceled Helltown, starring Robert Blake. Yeah, I know. You know, something like this could give Bob a hostile view of network executives. Anyway, as you know, he played a priest in the series, but in the final episode, it was kind of touching. He performed the last rites on his own show. There's an item in the paper that's kind of, not shocking, but you ought to read it carefully. In the USA Today, they said that some of the airlines in this country are using older planes with obsolete equipment. I only mention that for those of you who are traveling out. You should check. There might be some truth to it. I took a flight last weekend, and I found Lindbergh's porta potty under my seat. Anyway, good night. We have a good show tonight. We have an unusual lady. She's been with us